Hey, Rob here again, and in this video I'm going to talk you through setting up your domain and tell you the difference between a custom domain or a GroovePages subdomain. So let's dive in and take a look. Right, so we're back inside of GroovePages. There are a couple of ways to get to the domain management. The first one, from inside Groove, anywhere inside Groove, is you can click up on your avatar and click on My Account, and then at the end here you've got domains. And the other way is when you hit this Publish button, you can see up here you've got Manage Domains up here, and both will take you through to the same window. Now, as I said, you've got two options inside of Groove. If you've got a free Groove account, you can use a GroovePages subdomain. So anyone who's got a Groove account will get one of those. And all you need to do is choose the first part of your subdomain. And as long as no one else has chosen it, it has to be unique. Then you can have that, and that becomes yours. And that is the way it works. It's a word, so whatever you choose, or a set of characters. .groovepages.com. That becomes your subdomain. So in this example, it shows it quite clearly here. Your GroovePages subdomain would be, you choose a name. So the pink part here would be the name you choose. Like I say, it has to be unique. .groovepages.com. And then a custom domain is a website domain name that you buy, and you buy that from a third party. So somewhere like Namecheap, NameSilo, GoDaddy. Any of these, domain providers. It doesn't matter where you get it from. You then sort of rent that domain. You never really own a domain name. You're sort of renting it, yearly or whatever, however you pay for it. And then you can connect that domain name. So in this example here, yourdomain.com, you connect that so that when someone types that into a web browser, it will actually come in and show them the site that you've built inside of Groove. So you've got two options. If you want to set up your subdomain, so as long as this is highlighted here, this box around this left-hand option, you then click on Manage, and I've got my subdomain in here already. But if you're coming into this for the first time, pick a name, type it in this box, and click Save. If it goes through, then no one else has got it. That becomes your subdomain. If it says this name is already taken or it's unavailable, then you just have to think of something else. Sometimes you have to get a little bit creative, but once it goes through and it's saved successfully, then that subdomain is yours for as long as you choose to keep it. If you choose to then change your subdomain later on, you can do so, but obviously if someone then comes and takes the one you had previously, you'll then lose it. So entirely up to you. But once you've got your subdomain, that is effectively the address, the URL that someone will put into their browser, and when they do, they will see your page. So how you would use this, let's say you're promoting Groove as an affiliate, and you want to set up a landing page to give people the benefits of joining Groove so they can see what's what. You just come up with a creative subdomain, and then when they put in, let's say it's getgroove is your subdomain. When they put getgroove.groovepages.com into a browser, they will then see your page, your landing page that you've created inside of GroovePages. So I hope that makes sense in terms of the subdomain. The other option is a custom domain, which is this one on the right. Now, a custom domain is one like a .com or a .net or .co.uk, and it's a name that you rent from a domain name provider, such as GoDaddy, NameSilo, Namecheap, any of those. There's plenty of them out there. A custom domain is normally around about $7 or $8 for the year, and then when someone puts that name, your .com address or whatever, into their browser, and you connect it to GroovePages, they will see your GroovePages site once it's published. So to set that up, you come in, make sure, like I say, that this is highlighted here. You click on Manage, and then you would click Add a Domain. Okay, and I'll just enlarge this screen so we can see it clearly. You've got these five steps, this 5-step wizard, and on the left, you've got this full domain subdomain setup, which is the recommended setting. That's the standard one you'll use anytime you're connecting a custom domain. but you have also got the legacy domain set up on the right, and that's if you've got an existing website with some content on there already and you don't want to overwrite anything. But we're just going to use the standard full domain setup on the left, so make sure that's highlighted, and then you can click on next. That takes us to step 2, which is adding our domain name. Now, this is just a case of putting in the domain name that you've purchased. So whatever your custom domain is, .com or .co.uk, just put that in here. .com. I just need to put that as a dot. There we go. And then once that's put in, just click next. And that's going to take us to the next step, which is updating the DNS records, or these are the domain name servers. Now, what this is asking you to do is to make your domain registrar, so where you have your website address registered, make that talk to Groove, make it connect to Groove. So Groove is asking you to put in these 2 name servers that they've given us in these 2 boxes. It's asking you to put those into your name server settings on your domain registrar. Now, in my case, I'm using Name Silo. Obviously, depending on which one you're using, you might be using a different registrar to me, like GoDaddy or Namecheap or something like that. But basically, you need to go and find your domain name at your registrar. Usually the process is something along the lines of click on it and it will take you through to some sort of management screen. And what you're looking for is the DNS settings or name servers, something like that. So you can see down here I've got name servers, and it's given me the option to change, so I can click on the brackets, the change in brackets there, and that's going to take me through to this screen here. Now, if you're not sure where to find this for your particular registrar, the easiest way is to go into Google and just put the name of your domain name registrar in. So, for instance, GoDaddy, and then followed by name servers or change name servers, something like that. And you'll find a guide on there on how to do it. Or failing that, use the support section on your domain registrar's website. So in here in Name Silo, you can see I've actually got 3 name servers. You'll usually have 2, but sometimes it's possible to have 3. But what we need to do is replace these with the 2 that Groove are giving us. So you can see I've got these 3 here, and you can see the top 2 are asterisk that I've got next to them as well. So I need to replace these with the ones Groove are giving me. So I'm going to go back over to Groove, and you can see I've got these 2 name servers here. Now it's important to realize you've got the top one is number 1, the bottom one is number 2, and they need to be copied and pasted into your registrar. So to copy it, we just click on this little icon here. That will copy it to the clipboard. As you can see, it says in the corner. I'm going to go back over to our registrar, and I'm going to highlight my name server 1 and delete it. And I'm going to paste in the one I just copied from Groove. Now I'm going to go back over to Groove and get name server 2. Just click on the icon again, make sure it's the bottom one. So this is number 2. That's on my clipboard. I can go in, highlight number 2, delete, and paste that in. And I'm going to delete the 3rd one because I don't need it. I only need the 2. And that's it. Now it's really important that you make sure you get name server 1 and name server 2 the right way round. So always make sure that you've got the top one that's given to you by Groove as number 1 and the bottom one as number 2. So just double check that. And then once you've done that, you just need to find somewhere where it tells you to submit or save the changes. So here I'm going to click submit. That's going to take a second. And now that's done. Now it's worth mentioning here that it can take, up to sort of 24 or 48 hours for that to propagate. But, I've never really seen it take more than a couple of hours, if I'm honest, but I obviously can't guarantee that. So sometimes you might have to wait for that for a little while, but we're going to go to the next step, click next, and then it's going to ask you to validate the domain. Now what this is doing is checking that you have done what Groove have asked you to do. It's going to make sure that you've put those 2 name servers in the correct boxes and that everything is connecting as it should do. So as long as you've followed those steps, now it may not work straight away because obviously it can take a while, but we're going to click on validate DNS records anyway, and we'll see what comes up. You can see I've got this yellow banner down here saying that please try again after 1 hour. So you can come back in an hour, but usually what I'll find is that we can sort of log out or come out of this section and go back in again. But what I'll do, I'll click complete process. Now this shows you've got the domain we've just put up here, and it says the status is pending verification, and it's showing in yellow. So that's obviously, it said to us come back in an hour. I will just click again. You can click to verify the domain, but I think it will probably give us an error, but we can try it. We want it to come up and say secure and connected, so that's what we're looking for. So when you click verify, it's going to show you the name servers again to make sure you've done that bit, which we have. And yeah, you click validate, it's come up with an error. So what I'll do in this case is, the main thing is don't panic. There's nothing wrong here. It's just a case of sometimes coming out of here. So click update, go back into manage domains again, click on custom domains on the right, click manage. And again, the domain we've just trying to connect, click verify again. And now when we click validate, hopefully, there we go, successfully verified domain. We've got that banner at the bottom right. And also in status, it says secure and connected. So that's that step done. The final thing we need to do is choose the primary app for this domain. Now, when we're talking about apps, we're talking about apps inside of Groove. So we want to put a website on GroovePages, but you could also do GrooveMember or GrooveBlog, depending on if you're doing a membership site or a blog, something like that. But we're obviously looking to do GroovePages, so we're going to make that the primary app for this domain. So I'm going to click on choose primary app. Now you've got a drop down menu here with all your different Groove apps inside, but obviously we're just going to use GroovePages because we want this to be a GroovePages website. We're going to click the tick, and that is now going to assign this domain with GroovePages as its primary app. And that is it. We've connected our custom domain, and that's ready now to publish on that domain, which we'll cover in the next video. And that's it. So that's the difference between a GroovePages subdomain and a custom domain. So now you know how you can set both of those up. In the next video and the final video of this mini series, I will show you how to publish your website so that it actually goes live on the internet. So that's the exciting bit. Once you press the button, it's out there for the world to see. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll see you for the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.